Inward about 15 degrees. Miss this angle, and your igloo might end up looking more like a snow pile with aspirations. Builders cut the bottom of this first block at an angle, creating what
እዚህ በአስቸጋሪ ሁኔታ ሰው ይቅርና ነፍስ ያለው ነገር ራሱ ይኖርበታል ተብሎ አይታሰብም። መኖሪያቸው፣ መንገዳቸው፣ ምግባቸው፣ ሁሉም ነገራቸው የሚሰናደው ከበረዶ ውጤት ነው። እስከ ኔጋቲቭ 7 ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ ድረስ ዝቅ በሚለው አስቸጋሪ በረዷማ ቦታ መኖር የሚችሉት ኤስኪሞዎች ወይንም ኢንዊቶች ብቻ ናቸው። እንበልና እኛ በምድር ወገብ አካል ያለን ወይንም የገልፍ ሀገራት ወደ ቦታው ብንሄድ ገና ስለ ኢንዊቶች አስደናቂ ባህላቸውና አንዳንድ ምግቦቻቸውን እንዲሁም ባህሎቻቸውን ከማየታችን በፊት እግራችን አጥተነው ሊሆን ይችላል።
Size reduction serves a crucial engineering purpose. Larger blocks
ወይንም ኤስኪሞች ከአርክቲክ የሙቀት መጠን ጋር ተላምዶ በጄኔቲክ መላመድ ልዩ ቅባት የበዛበት አመጋገባቸው ብልህና በትልቁ አይኪው የተሰራ እንደ መናፈሻና ካማኪስ ወይንም ቡትስ ያሉ ባህላዊ ከካሪቦ ወይንም ከማተም ቆዳ የተሰሩ የልብስ ዲዛይን እና በደንብ የተሸፈነና ታስቦበት የተሰራ የመጠለያ ግንባታ የመሳሰሉ የተለያዩ ዘዴዎችን በመጠቀም ዝቅ ካለ እስከ 70 ከፍ ካለ እስከ ኔጌቲቭ 40 ዲግሪ ሴንቲግሬድ የአየር ንብረት ክልል ውስጥ መኖር ያስችላቸዋል።
In the best possible way. When missionaries, traders and modern laws came, this tradition slowly
ከፍተኛው የኤስኪሞች ቁመት እስከ 165 ሴንቲሜትር ሲሆን በባህላቸው የኤስኪሞ የአኗኗር ዘይቤ በቅዝቃዜ የማይበገር ከቦታው ጋር የተላመደ በባህር ውስጥ ያሉ እንደ ማህተሞች አሳ ነባሪዎችን በማጥመድና የካሪቦን ቆዳ ለልብስ በመጠቀም ቅዝቃዜውን ለመቋቋም ይጠቀማሉ። በእግር ለመጓጓዝ የበረዶ ክምርን ማቋረጥ ግድ ስለሚል በክረምት ወቅት በካያክና ኡመያክስ ቆዳ የተሸፈኑ ጀልባዎችን እንዲሁም በበጋ ወቅት ደግሞ ውሾችን ኢንዊቶች ከካራኮችን ለትራንስፖርትነት ይጠቀማሉ። ዘመናዊ ኢንዊቶች ደግሞ እነዚህን የትራንስፖርት በማዘመን ከዘመኑ ጋር አጣጥመውና አዘምነው ይጠቀሙባቸዋል።
Surviving and thriving in one of Earth's harshest environments, igloos prove that sometimes the oldest solutions are still the best ones.
ሌላውና እጅግ አስደናቂ የሆነው የኤስኪሞዎች ባህላቸው ደግሞ ከሁሉም ለየት የሚያደርጋቸው ሲሆን ቢኖር የሚስት መጋራት ባህላቸው ነው። አንድ ሰው በእንግድነት ወደ ኤስኪሞዎች ቤት በአጋጣሚም ቢሆን ከደረሰ በዛ ማደርም ግድ ከሆነበት ወደ ቤቱ በሄደ ከባዱን የብርድ እንዲቋቋምና እንዲሁም ፈታ ብሎ እንዲጫወት ግዴታ ጥሬ ስጋ ከተመገበ በኋላ ወንዱ ከሴቲቱ ጋር በአልጋ እንዲጋራ ግድ ይለዋል። ይህም በባህላቸው መሰረት ማህበራዊ ትብብርን ለማጎልበትና የጋራ ጥምረትን ለመፍጠር እንዲሁም በአደገኛ ሁኔታዎች ውስጥ የጋራ ትብብርን ለማጠናከር ያለመ ባህላቸው ነው። በወንዶች መካከልም እንደ ከፍተኛ የእንግዳ ተቀባይነትና የመተማመን ምልክት ሆኖም ያገለግላል።
could offer time with the wife. Some Inuit groups, who were wrongly called Eskimos in the past, had a tradition that many people didn't understand and often talked about in the wrong way. This was called wife sharing, but it wasn't careless or done without thinking, and it came from the very real need to survive in the freezing Arctic, in a place where the temperature could get as cold as minus 50 degrees, where there wasn't much of anything, and where working together meant staying alive or dying. Welcoming a visiting hunter or traveler with food, shelter, and sometimes letting them spend time with your wife was seen as the best way to show you cared, that you trusted them, and to build strong friendships. In some areas, this was part of official friendship agreements that made the bonds between families stronger, gave them backup help if a hunter died, and sometimes helped keep the gene pool healthy in small groups of people who lived far away from others. This custom had strict rules about how it was done. Often the woman had to agree to it. People expected the favor to be returned someday, and it only lasted while the guest was there. It ended when they left. Early explorers like Knud Rasmussen and scientists who study people, like Franz Boas, wrote about these exchanges. They noticed how these arrangements created peace and made people feel they owed each other help, even though missionaries said these practices were wrong. When Christianity spread, when people started living in permanent towns, and when ideas about what was right and wrong changed in the mid-20th century, this practice mostly disappeared. Today, it mostly exists in memories and in books written by scientists who study cultures. When you take away the twisted ideas that outsiders had about it, this wasn't about having fun without caring. It was about telling another person in the frozen wilderness, I trust you with my life and with the person who matters most to me. Women weren't quiet and powerless.